Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to search for a sales invoice and see if it's been paid, and also see the bank statement line that it has been reconciled to. So if you go to the Accounts tab and click on Sales, you will get to the sales screen. And if you click this big search button here, so if you know the invoice number, you can search by the invoice number here, or you can search by the customer's name if you don't have the invoice number. But let's say I do have the invoice number and I want to search for invoice 0041. I just click enter, and then here is invoice 0041. So it's showing here in this status that it's been paid, but if I want to double check that, what I do, I click into the invoice. This is the invoice, and here is the payment that's been put to the invoice. So if I click this blue $1,000, this is the payment transaction that's on the invoice. And if I click here, view details, this is going to show me the bank statement line that has been reconciled to the invoice. So here's the bank statement line, and this is showing the payment stroke invoice that it's been reconciled to. Now you can see here it says e-bank dep, which basically means it's been a bank deposit. So this would be an example of when your customer's paid cash or check, and it's been put into the bank account, and the customer's name obviously hasn't come up because it's been a cash payment. So the bank statement line here, it's not very clear who made the payment, which customer it was, but that's why you need to cross-reference your records, your paper records, to double check that it's the correct customer. A more straightforward example is, so going right back to the beginning, so we go to Accounts and Sales. We're now going to look at an example that's more obvious. So we click this search button, and let's say I want to search 0032, invoice 0032, and click search. And here it is, invoice 0032. It says it's been paid. So if I want to check what's going on there, I'll click into it. Here's the invoice. And if I scroll down, I'll find the payment transaction on the invoice. Click into it. This is the payment transaction that has been reconciled to the invoice. And then if I want to see the bank statement line, I click here, View Details. And here is the bank statement line that has been reconciled to this payment stroke invoice. And we can see here clearly it says Rex Media Group. So we know who the customer is because Rex Media Group have done a direct payment into our bank account, so like internet banking. So examples like this are pretty clear, but it can get quite confusing when it's cash or FPOS payments. But again, you need to cross-reference with your paperwork to double check who has paid what. Now, another thing I wanted to remind you of is looking at when an invoice has been created. So if I wanted to see, for example, this invoice here, the invoice date is the 14th of November and its due date is the 24th of November. But if I want to know when the actual invoice was created, then I can scroll down to this History and Notes section here. And if I click this button here, it will show that it was created on the 19th of November. And this lists what has been done to the invoice, so you can double check who made an invoice and when in this History and Notes section here. And this History and Notes section is on all transactions in Xero. So so that helps you to see who has done what to the transaction.